strong tremors have been felt in parts of Jammu, is what we are learning at this point in time. More information is awaited. I'm going to have my colleague Ajay Jandyal and Brian come in on this and give us more updates on what really transpired. Ajay, if you can hear me. Ajay, if you're there with us. All right, we'll get you some update on that momentarily, but right now all we know is that strong tremors have been felt in Jammu and Kashmir. The magnitude of the earthquake reported so far is 6.0, and it is being also said that the epicenter is somewhere in Afghanistan. The gravity of this earthquake is going to be known in some time, but those are images of the earthquake at the time when it was passing through, and ceiling fans, of course, dancing because of that particular earthquake that struck Jammu some time ago. All right, more information is awaited, but what we know so far is that the earthquake had a seriousness of 6.0 on the Richter scale. Pia, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast to give us more details about this. Pia, what do we know about this earthquake so far? Obviously, it is going to be some time before actual and factual information is put out there, but what is the latest at this point in time?
Indeed, Vineet, I am in the newsroom right now, and we have in fact felt a slight tremors of an earthquake in the newsroom itself. We have seen that our TV screen right over here was shaking a little bit. Apart from this, we're also getting to know that it's not just Delhi-NCR that has been impacted by this, but also the impact has been felt across other areas in North India, including Jammu and Kashmir in particular. As of now, there is speculation that the epicenter of the earthquake is in Afghanistan, and the magnitude is around 6.0 on the Richter scale. But of course, we have also showing visuals of you can see these fans on your screens. Viewers, of course, at home have captured these visuals. You can see fans on your screen. They're shaking quite a bit. So strong tremors have been felt in J&K, and of course, tremors have also been felt in and around the national capital as well. But this is not all. We're also getting to know that Punjab has also felt some of these tremors, and Delhi-NCR in particular has been impacted. Of course, our viewers can see visuals of these fans on their screens, but apart from that, even in our office, our systems were shaking to a particular extent. We're getting to know that the magnitude is 6.3. This is what we're getting to know at this point of time. As per latest information that is trickling in, we're finding out that the magnitude of the earthquake is 6.3. Back to you, Vineet.
All right, that's quite, a number. 6.3 on the Richter scale is considered to be a heavy earthquake, and those are visuals that you see, and that's how strong the earthquake was. The epicenter at this point in time is believed to be Afghanistan. And remember, folks, a flurry of earthquakes have hit this part of the world in the last few months. The seismic activity underground has been extremely sporadic and frequent. What are the real causes of something like this happening is a cause of concern, but so far we don't have any information about the damage or lives lost or of injuries sustained because of this earthquake. But we'll try and get you more information as and when we have it. But so far, the earthquake has also been felt in North India. And this is the recent earthquake to strike this part of the subcontinent, and tremors have been felt in Delhi and parts of North India in the afternoon. The tremors we are learning were felt in Pakistan as well. There are no immediate reports of any injury or destruction or loss of property. And Ajay Jandyal, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Ajay, what information can you give us? What is the first response by the authorities about this earthquake? We felt tremors in Delhi too.
Well, right after this earthquake was felt here in the Jammu and the Kashmir region, the people, there was a panic among the people, because people of Jammu and Kashmir have seen the worst, earthquake in the past as well in 2005. And after that, even number of turmoil, was felt here in the Jammu and Kashmir. So that's why there was a little panic among the people, especially in Rajouri, Poonch, Kishtwar, and these areas. And immediately, some of the people, when they have felt it, they started running out of their houses, and that is what exactly has happened. But now, till now, there is no information of any losses of property or any damage. So we just spoke to the authorities, and they say that we are trying to collect the information from the rural districts, because during these, earthquakes, there is a threat of landslide and snow avalanche in upper reaches especially. So that is something which has to be seen, and that is what exactly the authorities in Jammu and Kashmir are saying.
All right, Ajay, appreciate you joining us. Nothing so far in terms of injuries, nothing so far in terms of property or lives lost, and hope it continues to be that way. But like I said earlier on as well, there has been a repetition of these earthquakes in North India for the last few days, and this is the latest one that we are learning about, and the epicenter is in Afghanistan. As you can see, people hurriedly coming out of their homes in open ground to make sure nothing falls over them or no collapse affects their life and limb. Brian, my colleague, is also joining us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Brian, what do we know about this earthquake so far? Its epicenter is Afghanistan. There hasn't been any report of lives lost or damage to property. But what's going on over here? This is something which is supposed to be considered seriously, because, the spate of earthquakes that the subcontinent, especially the northern part of the subcontinent, has endured is a cause of worry.
Well, yes, definitely, Vineet. Right now, just 10, 15 minutes back, around 250, 6.1 EQ parameters, which says that 6.1 Richter scale earthquake had hit the Afghanistan region. So the latitude is 36.48 north, and longitude is 70.45 east. So yes, a very important, a very big earthquake, which recorded the Richter scale of 6.1, and even with the epicenter is said to be Afghanistan, and which is 241 kilometers northeast of Kabul. But yes, the latest that we are getting to know is, right now what we are getting to know is no lives have been lost, because it's too early to say. The seismologists are still analyzing what can be done, what is the reason of it. And for the past few months, there has been a lot of earthquake that has been hitting the northeast region, and the location is also Hindu Kush region in Afghanistan. The depth, if I tell my viewers the depth was 192 kilometers, and which happened, and the magnitude is 6.1, which has hit. But yes, it's too early to actually say if there are loss of lives or not. But till now, what the latest that we're getting to know is that there is no loss of lives that happened. But yes, the seismologists, the people are still analyzing if if any loss of lives, or if any buildings have been damaged, or anything of that sort. Vinny.
All right, Gohar Mahmood, the earthquake expert, also joins us on the broadcast to share what they have observed because of these frequent earthquakes in a number of areas around the world. Gohar Mahmood, if you can hear me. Gohar Mahmood, if you can hear me. All right. All right. We'll have Gauhar Mahmood with us momentarily. Brian, what reaction have we, if any, seen from the Indian authorities when it comes to these earthquakes? We all know that Japan very recently was ravaged by over 50 earthquakes, which took place in a matter of 3 days. Is this seismic activity, a cause of concern in the subcontinent as well?
Well, definitely we need, as we've seen also in the past few months also, there has been a lot of, earthquakes that was happening even in the national capital. 2 months back also there was another earthquake that happened in the national capital where the epicenter was not, was basically Jammu, which actually, damaged a lot of houses. And these seismic activities are on an increase also right now. Also, what happened at 2:50 p.m., you saw that the Richter scale was 6.1, which is actually very intense. And as a result of that, even though we we do not know whether there is a loss of lives or there have been building damage as of now, because it's too preliminary to actually say. But yes, the seismologists, the experts are doing their part to understand if there has been any buildings damage as well. But yes, in recent times, there have been an increase in the seismic activities. You call it because of global warming or some other factors that is playing a part. But yes, there has been an increase in the seismic activities in the region, especially in the north area.
Brian, stay with us. A.S. Shukla, earthquake expert, also joins us on the program to give their take on what's happened today. Mr. A.S. Shukla? Mr. Shukla, if you're there with us?
Yeah, please.
So your thoughts on these frequent earthquakes that have plagued a number of areas around the world?
No, this is the particular earthquake if you are talking about, which has happened a very few minutes ago. It has happened in the Hindu Kush region. This is a highly seismic region of the world. Frequently earthquakes are occurring in this region, and because of this only we have felt this. This has been felt in Delhi and other part of India, and particularly it has been felt in the high-rise building because it's very far away from, about 1,000 kilometers away from us. So the teleseismic event, we can say that it is an event which is very far from us. So generally this type of earthquake affects the higher rise building or being felt in higher rise building. So it's a common phenomenon, but because this particular region, Hindu Kush region, is very, very sensitive region in the world, you can say. So generally, particularly the depth of the earthquake is very deep. So they are affecting, particularly as I have told, to the high-rise building. So we should not worry about this. It is not in India. It has not happened in India, and I don't think there will be any damage in this part, India. Yes, Afghanistan. Of course, we have not received any information regarding the damage, etc. But it may be in that particular region, but not in our country. So we should not worry about this.
All right. Okay. Gauhar Mahmood, earthquake expert, also with us on the program. Gauhar Mahmood, if you can hear me now.
Yes.
Right. We should not be worried is what Mr. A.S. Shukla has said, but the frequency of these earthquakes and their occurrences, has never been like before.
Yeah, he's absolutely right, because it's a very far off distance and deep-seated earthquake, the area of curvature becomes more, but the intensity becomes very less. So in that case, no damage will be there in our Indian territory. As far as NCR and Delhi are concerned, we are always designing the building more than 6+. So that is why we are safe, because in Delhi, the indigenous earthquake, that is Bahadurgarh, that is 5.7 only, not 6. So that is the history of the earthquake for the last 20 years, that the maximum earthquake, indigenous earthquake in Delhi is 5.7. Other earthquake like Nepal earthquake, it was 7.9. So in Lucknow it was still 5.4. And in Delhi it was still 5.2 only. So again, it is a proof that the intensity and magnitude doesn't affect if it is far off distance, because in between we have lots of cushions. These cushions are our alluvial plains and water bodies which restrict these intensities to come after the magnitude is concerned. It is very less.
All right, sir, appreciate you joining us. We'll get more inputs, but right now, let me cut across to my colleague Brian once again. Brian, any response, either on Twitter or from government agencies on any assessment after this earthquake hit North India today?
The magnitude that struck Afghanistan's Hindu Kush region with a 6.1 radius, as said by the European, Mediterranean Seismology Center. Now we are getting to know that in Delhi also there was a quake that triggered panic among people. Also, with Delhi also felt some tremors, and even there were, the national capital also reported they were reporting of shaking furnitures also, which we also got to know from our sources as well. And the quake also jolted parts of Pakistan as well, according to the meteorological department. Even though yes, the epicenter of the quake was in Hindu Kush region of Afghanistan, but yes, Pakistan also was, felt the quake, and even Afghanistan was rattled twice by, earthquakes of magnitude 6 above since October last year. So this is not the first time that something like this happened in Afghanistan. This is the second time after October. There was another one happened in October, which was again more than 6, and even now it jolted more than 6.1. So yes, this is the second time which is happening in Afghanistan, and not just Afghanistan, even Pakistan, even Jammu, even the national capital felt tremors. Where we could also see there were moving of furniture. What we got to know from sources also. So yes, these are incidents which is repeating on a constant edge. And this is happening over again, because it's just what 3-4 months, and again another earthquake happened with more than 6 Richter scale. Yes, Vinny.
All right, more information is still awaited. Brian, stick with us. We're going to try and get you the latest updates about this earthquake. We've spoken to a number of experts. Right now, the epicenter we know is a few hundred kilometers north of Kabul. And on the northwestern side of Islamabad. So Pakistan has also felt the tremors, and the tremors were felt in North India as well. This is once again a sporadic occurrence which has gotten a number of geologists worried as well. All right, Brian, before we wrap up, one quick question for you as well. In terms of where we stand at this point in time, no information is available about the damage or, the lives that have been lost. But did you observe any kind of panic on the streets, or was there any concern around you where you were? Because obviously I felt this earthquake. A number of my friends also felt it. I have been getting messages on WhatsApp. What do we know about that, if anything at all?
Same, Vineet here. Even though if you talk about me personally, I did not feel it. But yes, I also got a lot of messages from WhatsApp. Even one of our sources also said that that very person felt, furnitures that were, they were shaking in terms of when it jolted the national capital. Also, there were tremors that were felt. There were people. Even I was getting a lot of WhatsApp messages of people, sending me messages of the fact that they felt it. Even there was a panic all around. The IMD, started also giving updates regarding the epicenter, regarding where it happened, and the Richter scale as well. And if like I said also earlier, this is the second time it happened in Afghanistan. The earlier time it happened in October time, and at that very point of time also, national capital also faced another earthquake, which was pretty intense. And now also, when I'm getting messages, I'm the people who are telling me also that they have faced something like this, which is pretty intense. The furnitures were moving, and at this point of time also, people be very anxious. They become in a panic situation, because they are advised by the advisories also. The experts also say at that point of time, you come out of your house, you stay outside, you do not stay indoors, because that will cause a lot of problems. And yes, even though it's too early to say if there's a loss of life or if the buildings have been damaged, but yes, this phenomena or this earthquake is actually repeating over and over again. In just 3 to 4 months, there's another more than 6 Richter scale earthquake that happened. So yes, it is increasing and it is in a very devastating state, Vineet.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.